Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Lead us shit. We're recording, you know.
Oh, shit.
We had a good start. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute fella.
I think about things. That's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped.
Did that just
happened to them?
end?
What the chuff's just happened there?
It abruptly ended.
Didn't it? It's Jay's fault. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the Ought to Know Better podcast. This is season 6, episode 15. I'll have you know. I'm welcomed. Jesus Christ, we're off to a good start, lads. I'm welcoming the truck driver, the medicated man himself, Jay Cartier. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah,
With his Lloyd Christmas hairstyle.
Yeah, I had a bath just before we come on, so I've not been able to do out with it.
You are looking very furry, James.
Yeah,
you're like a grape that's been dropped into a little pile of hair.
Trim back again.
One of the fuzzy ones. One of the ones that's going slightly mouldy. Slightly mouldy. I'm joking, mate. I'm sorry. Karl, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Trail man.
Yep, that's me. Keep an eye out in the sky, peoples.
The man with the eyes in the skies. That's it. We were supposed to be covering the Chelsea game, which we were all at yesterday. However, a very squeaky Gilly and a bald and kind of beautiful, weird kind of silhouette of a Luke, and I forget the gentleman's name that joined them last night. They've kind of covered the Chelsea game.
Dylan.
That's him. I've not watched it back because I'm a very busy guy. So we're going to start from scratch today, just us three. Jay, you were at the match. A lot of people were stood up around you, so I'm not sure how much of it you actually did see. But before we get into that,
shall I just leave?
If you like. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I haven't been on for a few weeks, mate. I just missed you.
He has
just
to get it out.
With you.
I've been to Peacock
Save
for
it
ages
all
and
up.
all. What were we going to say? Oh, yes, sorry. So, yes. What were your thoughts, obviously, after coming from the second half of the Man City game? What were your thoughts coming into this game? Were you positive? When I got to the stadium yesterday, a few people came up to me and I said, what were your thoughts? How do you think we're going to do? And I went, I think we're going to get dicked because I had no faith. Clearly, I was very, very wrong. But obviously, the second half of the Man City game did give us a little bit of hope. But what were your thoughts going into this? Like I said, were you positive? Were you negative? Were you somewhere in between?
I were feeling quite positive once I saw the team sheet and realised that we were going to try and do what we'd done against City. I thought, why not? It felt like there were a bit of, I don't know, a bit of a better, more positive feeling around the place. I kind of want to say momentum, but you can't really say momentum after a defeat. But just carrying the nature of that performance forward and it looking like, fucking hell, this is what he's worked on with them all week. A couple of days. It just gave me a good feeling. I thought, we could get completely done over here. That'd be pretty fucking Leeds to do that, wouldn't it? But I just felt like there were a chance at home with everybody up for it, and you cannot underestimate the power of the Elland Road crowd when it's good,
especially in the lights.
Mm-hmm.
It carries us a long way.
Someone mentioned to me before we kicked off, actually, that we've got an exceptionally good record against Chelsea, one that I'd never really thought of before. I think, I can't remember what the specific number is, but I think in our last, someone said like 30 meetings. Obviously, someone in the chat will definitely start tippy-tapping away as we speak. In fact, I'm sure it's Jammy. He's usually one of them in it. In the last 30 meetings or so, Bryn will know. He'll definitely know. He'll be able to tell you exactly what the scores were for half of them as well.
Yep.
But yeah, apparently they've only beaten us 8 times in the last quite substantial meetings as well. So don't know what it is. And Maresca doesn't do too well against us either, does he? Obviously, we've got to go down to their spot.
No, he likes a 3-1 defeat.
He likes it, doesn't he? Karl, what were your thoughts going into the game? Again, were you positive? Did you think we were going to get a result against Chelsea?
I thought we'd come away with something. I wasn't quite convinced we'd get 3 points, but Jesus, I thought going into that game after, like Jay said, the second half performance on Saturday, regardless of, we lost or whatever, I thought there was enough in there with the formation that we played in the second half to just, to try and get something. we looked dogged and determined in that second half in Manchester that time. And I thought, yeah, look, Beal, man, he's got a head like an absolute rock on him, and he just cleaned up absolutely everything there. And he did the same on Saturday when he came on in the second half.
Mhm.
So I was quietly confident we'd get at least a point out of it, but I wasn't. I had no contemplation that we were going to walk away from that going, fucking hell, we just beat them 3-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just one of them. Like I was confident, but not to the extent that the scoreline reflected at all. So, yeah.
It's one of them, innit? I think as long as we were competitive, I think, you've got to start small, aren't you? Baby steps. No way in a million years did I think we'd get the better of them that much. But yeah, like I said, a few of the guys were saying, "No, what your thoughts or whatever?" And I says, "I don't know. I generally thought we were going to lose because of the quality that Chelsea have. However, I don't know, they just didn't seem to be firing on all cylinders. Obviously, they had a couple of players missing or whatever."
Yeah.
Caicedo is one of their main guys, isn't he? But yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel, like I say, splinters in my ass. I was kind of sat on the fence. One of the things I did say was, I hope we don't score too early because we don't seem to do well after that. And we scored in 6 minutes. So, hey, I clearly know fuck all. Never claimed I did, by the way, but yeah, there you go. So yeah, like you said, Jay, you were at the City game as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Were you impressed with what Fart did, or do you think he just chanced it and came out smelling the roses? Even though we did lose, but obviously second half performance were pretty decent.
I think we can have both as an answer to that. Really, I think he did chance it to a degree. He took a roll of the dice. This game we lost. Why not just give this a go and see if it's any better against a good side and take it from there, kind of thing. And it worked for him. But I was impressed that he actually had the balls to try it, and he actually made changes at half time and stuff. Like, that's unprecedented with him. I was just like, Jesus Christ, he's actually doing something here. He's trying to do something.
Yeah.
And yeah, we did really well from it. So can't not be impressed.
Paul Brennan says this is the way, 3-5-2 formation all season. Yeah, we'll get beat. These players are made for 3-5-2. Jacoby Yoll is made for the back three role, and he can mix it up. Certainly, I mean, listen, those three. I mean, every single one of those guys, off the cuff, were absolutely fantastic. They were all brilliant last night. I cannot fault any of them.
I tell you what, people say Beale's not that mobile. The way he moved for that corner when he scored. I've watched that.
He's a jumping unit, isn't he?
He's just off. The guy behind him's like, where's he gone?
And your man who he left Delap behind, who was meant to be marking him, and
Delap went nowhere near him.
Puts his arms out at him like he's going to grab him or something when he's up.
Stop!
The ball.
Stop! Fucking Dej!
He's no slouch either, like Delap. You know what I mean? He's probably
didn't make much of him last night, did you?
No, but he's quite a big lad, and he could be very threatening in our box if they were able to actually utilise his height and his strength. But even in their own box, he wasn't great last night. I thought with how well he heads the ball and that, I thought he'd be all over either Rodon, Strike or Beal. And turns out he doesn't even know what they fucking look like because they were that far away from him anyway. So it was fine.
Yeah, they didn't necessarily have the rub of the green, did they? And I think, as I suppose if you can praise a referee, I don't think that he did too bad last night either. I thought it were fairly well refereed. I think obviously a couple of, the VAR decision to obviously disallow the goal was fair enough, and there were a couple of little bits and bobs. There were a blatant handball in the second half, which everyone in the frigging stadium saw, but it was up to the fourth official to actually say, hold on, mate, you might miss something there. But apart from that, I don't really have any complaints about the referees either. I think we got the better of them in every aspect. Going forward defensively, we were aggressive when we needed to be. And they just didn't want to show up. Chelsea, they didn't really offer a great deal. Neto looked pretty lively when he came on, but he's a bloody shithouse, isn't he? They're just a freaking load of entitled prima donnas, aren't they? Throwing himself around all over the floor and stuff like that. I just think, fucking hell, if you had a bit of grit, you'd do a lot better, you lot.
I know. It was funny, though. Like, you were saying about the ref, and I said to someone next to me, I was like, it's actually refreshing to have a ref that's not just giving every little thing.
Yeah.
Because he let all sorts go that they were trying to do. They were, they were hitting the deck a lot, like you say.
Contrast that with Aston Villa. Contrast that with Aston Villa last week. And you just think they were blowing up for absolutely everything. The tiniest, minutest little knocking it. Yeah. But there were some fucking tackles flying in last night, weren't there? Some belters and all, and they were like, "Yeah, play on." I'm like, you know what? You'll do for me.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
The Leeds account on bleeding Instagram, they put up all those tackles on the sideline, and Ampadu absolutely puts Enzo up in the air. And it was beautiful.
I love to see it.
Oh, Jesus, it was beautiful. And, like, I think from back to front, we were absolutely brilliant last night. We took it to them. And even Maresca came out and he said, look, Leeds were the better side. And, I think...
Can't say much else, can he?
No, he can't. No. But at the same time, you've got all these people online now saying, oh, they had to rotate because they this game and they had to rotate because they that game and tiredness and blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, right? A team who's meant to be challenging for the title doesn't come to a club who are fighting for survival and get turned over 3-1.
Well, that's it.
You just have to look at the depth of their squad, man. I mean, bringing Garnacho and Cole Palmer and Neto on, it's like, come on, man. Any of them three really would probably walk into our team. Absolutely. Definitely that Neto and bloody and Cole Palmer and Garnacho. I don't mind him. I know he's a scum bastard. I don't know. We let him have it last night. But he's a decent enough player, Quick, and I like shithouse players. Oh yeah, he's rapid.
He's quick. Yeah.
Bogle couldn't cope with him when he came on.
Bogle was fairly on his last legs. When
he was absolutely knackered.
Yeah.
He gave his all last night, though.
He did. You can't knock anyone for anything last night. I think Bogle. I thought Goodmanson. Probably his best game of the season, if I'm being perfectly honest.
He was superb.
He was superb up and down that way.
He was everywhere.
Well, to say he didn't have a winger in front of him to help him out, like, you know what I mean? I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
This system is going to kill those guys, though.
Yeah, but I think, like, it's something that we kind of need to use sparingly in certain games against certain teams because... Like next week against Liverpool, like we'll talk about it later, but Slot has already come out about 3 or 4 weeks ago saying his team don't like long, high balls into their defence. Well, I'd be targeting that ball every time. I know it's back to 80s football. Amazing what happens when you drop Aronson. Oh, here we go. Can we
Gilly for the first time in a bloody long time is in the chat tonight, and he says that amazing what happens when you drop Aronson. And do you know what? I said exactly the same thing to one of my pals last night as well. What a bit, maybe a slight smidge satire, a bit tongue in cheek, but I meant it because the system, this 3-5-2 that we've adopted, absolutely solid at the back. We've got really, really good cover. It allows cover from different angles as well. We're getting Bogle and Goodmanson up them wings. We're solid in the midfield. Tanaka, fantastic. Did slate a couple of his slated a couple of his first, a few shots or whatever. And again, I went, "Don't worry, lads. 4th time's a charm." Bang.
Yeah, boy.
And we were all like, I'm like, no ways if he's done that. 4th time's a charm, lads.
It were amazing, wasn't it? And the fact he just did it so quick, he didn't even think about it. He just did it. Bang.
Quality ball again. Again, that press, that aggression, straight in from Bogle. Bang.
Thing was as well, like there was opportunity for Tanaka to take a touch and maybe bring it backwards based off how we were playing previously, because the way he turned his body, it's the best role for us last night. Like the way he took it on was his body shape was so quick and turning to face the goal. He could have easily passed it back to Bogle to try and build and go wide, you know what I mean? But to have the confidence to take a strike like that on. After the 3 that he, let's be honest, we were all standing there going, couldn't hit a fucking barn door tonight if he was there all night up until that point. And then just to be able to kind of turn on his heels and be able to twist his body to be able to open it up to have that shot it's just like that kind of thinking needs to be done all the time quickly. You know what I mean? And we did it last night. Best
Positive,
Ampadu has looked in last 8, dropped his Kamara tribute.
I wouldn't go far as saying probably last 8. I think that's probably a smidge harsh, but yeah, the whole centre made it and looked very, very well as it. You know,
I'd be looking at that now, kind of when Longstaff is back. But when Longstaff is back, it's going to be difficult for him to get into that midfield again, based off how Tanaka, Stack, and Ampadu played. Because I thought Stack's his corners last night, absolutely unreal,
on point, weren't they? Which is nice because it's nice to see these players coming into a little bit of form as well. Whether you can call it a little bit of form, you know, obviously over the last few weeks we haven't really hit any
compared
form.
To what we've seen it is.
But last night, obviously, everything kind of came together and stuff. It's just whether we can implement that against, you know, obviously Liverpool, which we'll discuss a little bit further, you know, in a little while. But yeah, I think, you know, Steve makes a good point here. He says, my only concern about the system is who do we have who can play wing back if Bogle and Gabby are missing. Don't think wingers are good enough defensively to play it. Yes. I mean, we do have Justin James, who did do a decent enough job when he came on. I mean, I don't mind him. I think he's half decent.
He's done all right.
He's all right, isn't he?
He's an England international. We forget that, like, you know what I mean? He played, 15, 16 times for England. While playing in a Leicester team as well, like, you know what I mean. So I gotta give him some credit.
I bet that Sam Byram is itching to play that role.
Oh yeah,
does he? Yeah, but the thing is, does he have the motor still though?
No, that's the point.
Thing. He definitely. Well, not even just to play a small bit part. You know, it's like it's all right playing forward at back or whatever, and having him potentially overlapping someone like Dan James. But when you're actually, you know, you're doing front, you know, you're getting up there. I mean, the amount of running, I'd love to see their stats. Bogle and Aaron, I nearly said Aronson. Bogle and Goodmanson. I would love to see their stats. In fact, you know, to be fair to, like, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Metcha, they put themselves around a lot as well last night. I thought them two were fantastic together.
They were great.
They were really, really well together. It's definitely very, very positive. It's the best I've felt, and I'm sure everyone else is, you know, pretty much the same. It's the best I've felt for quite some time, and it's easy to say that off the back of, you know, a good win or whatever, but it's just that little spark, that little positivity, that little bit that gives us something to hold on to for Saturday. Because if we'd have lost on you know, last night, it'd have been, oh Christ, I'd have been absolutely dreading Saturday.
Yeah, you'd feel like you'd feel like you're onto a hiding for nothing on Saturday if we didn't get that result last night. I even think a draw last night, we'd have been going into the Liverpool game, because we'd have been kind of going, right, okay, we can see progress with this 3-5-2. It's starting to gel a little bit. It's starting to work. But to get the result we have, man, absolutely kick 7 shades of crap out of Liverpool on Saturday. Just impose our game on them rather than them imposing theirs on us.
Definitely.
We'll get to that in a bit anyway.
Our Gilly says the only concern is depth in key roles. JJ can do a job on either side. Okafor, Piro, Metcha, and Nonto support the number 9. Yeah, I don't really have any issues. You know, like, we have got plenty of squad depth up front or in those sort of attacking roles. Yeah, we could have probably done with a little bit more. I mean, obviously Dan James is out for a little while now as well.
Yeah.
But defensively, like you say, if we are going to adopt this kind of role going forward permanently, you know, it's going to take its toll, especially when you've got a cluster of games so close to it, like obviously this week and then over the Christmas period. Are we going to see some tired legs? And the answer is yes. You're going to see some very, very tired people. Brings me on to Ken's comment. He says, if it flashes up at all, not you, Jay. Does he stick with his formation going forward, or does he switch it up depending on the opponent, Karl?
Does he stick with this formation going forward, or does he switch it up? Like I mentioned earlier on, I did say that it would probably depend on the level and type of opposition we're playing. I think with the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, when they try and impose their game on you, I think it's a very good kind of formation to have. And I think it's something that we should probably use a lot more going forward. But I do think that the teams, like the likes of, let's be honest, we're looking at teams like Brentford, anyone kind of in the bottom half of the table. We can pick and choose what we want to play then and do quite well. But I think against the bigger teams, we need to impose ourselves like that and have the two big lads up front and occupy the two centre backs, because their two centre backs didn't know how to handle us last night. Because how many teams these days play with two up top? You know what I mean? They're coached
very few.
into playing expansive, wide football, which involves wingers and midfielders turning into
Playing out
wingers,
from the back.
playing out from the back, and it's very melodical and sometimes predictable. But the 3-5-2, they like Nemecha and Calvert-Lewin last night, for me, they did a serious number on them centre backs. Like, there was a point at which Nemecha and Calvert-Lewin in the first half were both kind of drifting over towards the dugout side of the pitch, over to the west stand.
That's just they were hoping that Perry wouldn't boat it out of play for a change.
Yeah, well, like, no, but the other thing is, this is during play, like, because they were drifting as a pair. So you had Calvert-Lewin in front, and they were drifting like that. So they were kind of in sync as they were going along the whole time. But it left massive holes on the other side of the pitch. Massive, because the centre-backs followed them. They didn't know what to do. So I think, depending on the level of opposition, we can skip and choose between the two formations. But I think against the top teams who expect an easy ride against one striker up top, absolutely play 3-5-2 all the time against them. Because they don't know what to do with it. They're not coached to play that way anymore. 4-4-2 is essentially a dead kind of formation in a sense, you know. And teams don't train to set up against a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2, you know. So it's one of those, depending on the level of opposition and who we're playing, we seem to be able to kind of, I know it's early days with this 3-5-2, but we seem to be able to kind of gel between the two of them now, where Fark has obviously realised that 4-3-3 wasn't working against City because we were getting cleaned out of it all over the place, and they absolutely won the midfield battle there. But then when we went 3-5-2, we overran them for large parts, to the point where Pep had to tell his keeper to take a fake injury so that he could get his shit together, you know. So I think, depending on the opposition, that would be, for me, how you would pick and choose what to do.
Any other thoughts on that, Jay?
I think Carl's covered it quite well there. I don't think it's going to be a formation we want to use against everybody. I think when we play a team like Burnley again, you know, we don't really want to play that way. I feel like that sort of make it harder for us against them. I think we're good enough against teams like that to play the other way that we play. But yeah, I think against the top teams, just having the two strikers up there for two centre backs to cover two men, it's just got them all over the place when those guys are moving about as well and interchanging where they are, and it's dragging people about and it creates space. It's just it's promising.
If we knew we were facing a 3-5-2 though, how would you expect to counter that? If you were manager, how would you counter a 3-5-2?
To be fair, you could probably play your own 3-5-2 because you'd still have three centre backs covering the two strikers. But yeah, I'm not a manager. I don't make those decisions.
No, it's just interesting because I've thought the same, and I had a conversation with a couple of guys at work today. It's like, how sustainable is playing that before someone kind of cracks it and goes, well, actually, we can bypass it by doing such and such, and you know, A and B, and we can adopt them kind of styles. Do you play three at the top? How do you bypass it? I mean, it's quite, especially if you're playing against a good team, and like you said, we may see this weekend on, and we may not do. But if you're playing a good team and that 3-5-2 isn't technically working, and you've got Goodmanson and you've got frigging Bogle that are absolutely knackered, all of a sudden you're kind of going to be getting a little bit susceptible to counter-attacking, and you've got three centre-backs there. You know, and I just think sometimes it might work for us. I mean, luckily, we scored early on, so they were on the back foot straight away. We showed quite a lot of good possession, and I think we do have a momentum chart in here somewhere.
We used our 29% well.
Yes, we did. Obviously, there's a lot of momentum in that first 10-15 minutes, and then there's a bit of a tit for tat, and then obviously it's a lot. There's a lot of their blue there.
I'm just so glad we scored while we're on top for a change.
Well, this is it. You know, we made it count, and obviously we soaked up a lot of pressure, and then we scored again before half time, and then we were on top again relatively soon afterwards. You know, and then they kind of had a sustained period then where they came. You know, they had a lot of the ball, but didn't necessarily do a quite a lot with it.
Look at that though, their goal. The momentum there is all us when they score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it's just a counter attack, innit?
Yeah. It's insane.
The way I'd look at trying to play against a 3-5-2 would be, even if you play two up top, only one centre back has to look after either man and sort it out between his left and his right back. So you always have one centre back free. Now it's a risky game, but if you train for it and you're coached correctly, that's how you would go and play against a 3-5-2, because you always need one player at the back who's scanning the areas. So if he's scanning the areas and he can see Dominic Calvert-Lewin is over here, excuse me, being looked after by one defender, one centre back, he can then call a player back from midfield to kind of occupy the second striker. That leaves the second centre back free to keep scanning, looking up, and basically doing what Rodon does and clean up anything that comes in between the centre mid that's looking after the second striker and the other centre back that's looking after the other striker. So there is ways to do it, but it's difficult to do that kind of thing on the bounce when you haven't actually trained to actually play that way. It's very difficult. It doesn't matter how talented you are as a footballer, unless you do a repeat in training. That's one of the most difficult things to do. But when you develop that kind of way of defending against that formation, you break it down very easily. We saw, because the centre back, without looking after any kind of centre forward, if they're a ball playing centre back, that's where they break. That's where the break comes from. That's where they spread the ball. So you've always got that one out ball because they've cleaned up. So that's the way I'd look at doing it. But again, you can't do it unless you train for it, and not many teams train for it, looking after two centre forwards these days. So
yeah.
I'll tell you what, Carl, if they do sack him, we'll put you forward to get you in that dugout. You can be caretaker.
I wouldn't mind now, to be fair. It'd be a bit of crack. I was going to email the club today and offer my Gaelic football kicking services, because tell you what, Perry, man, needs to fucking work on that. Like, I can show him how to kick. That's not a problem.
He needs some new boots.
Even his wonder throws were going off for him last night, were they? It would have been like, come on, mate, get your shit together. We're doing all right here.
Yeah.
No, I just thought I'd ask you, get your thoughts for it, guys, because I just think, as much as everything kind of went our way last night, and there's been a few people that have said so in the comments. There will be times where this won't work, and we'll need to change it again, and whatever. But I agree from what you guys have said. I think 3-5-2 is definitely the way forward. It's definitely the way that we can get the best out of our strikers, the guys up top. And so I hope to see it. Standing the time, I suppose. How else can you explain it? I just think it's the best way, and I think a few people have been asking for that sort of thing for quite some time. Management sort of people, but great result against Chelsea. They were shit. The fans, I thought, were pretty decent for a change. I don't really rate Chelsea fans that much, or not necessarily since they've been the last couple of times they've been up to us, but I thought they were all right. We were calling one of their fans Jimmy Savile. They absolutely loved it. Thought it was hilarious. There were a guy that looked like Jimmy
Savile. All laughing at him.
They're all going like, oh, look at
that was brilliant. Whoever spotted him in the front row and started that, I applaud you.
It's because they were singing it at us, I think. So
no, they were. You what?
Someone spotted that Jimmy Savile.
There were a few seats between me and you. Yeah. Just behind me, between me and you, it were them lads that started singing it, and they were obviously it just went then. But yeah, that was great. I love it when we pinpoint someone out of the crowd. It's just
I do. Ace. It's ace, isn't it?
Especially when it's like that.
Guy?
Oh, just mate, honestly, the guy with the big coat, we call it, take your tent and fuck off. It's when Elland Road is like that, when we've got a bit of wind behind us, when we're doing well, we're winning, and it's just, I don't know what it is, with being under the floodlights. I don't know what it is. It's like magic. Sometimes it's just that, honestly, it's the best place. And when you're picking on someone out of their fans, Chef's kiss.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Deb is in the comments here just saying he never looked over though. Not once.
No, he didn't.
Not once.
I
He
don't know what
would
they're
not-
talking about.
He
I
would
can't hear
not
him.
acknowledge it at all.
Absolutely
It was fantastic.
did not
His
move.
mates were all like, "Oh, they're on about you. They're on about you," and he was just
I
standing there
see
going,
nothing.
No.
Just face
Fuck
like
him.
that. I am not looking. If I look,
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Do you know who he
Yeah.
actually remind me a bit of? Brian Badante.
Yeah, I thought that. I was going to say that.
Brian, I'm Brian Badante.
Oh.
Okay.
Do you know who Brian Badante is?
I ain't got a chuffing clue.
Oh, he's our face jacker, man.
Oh,
Brian
now I know.
Badante.
No, yes, I do know exactly who you mean. Yes, I do know exactly who you mean.
Buying Bexby.
Girl.
Steve Brown's in the comments again. He says Chelsea must be looking at Ampadu and shaking their heads in disbelief that they sold him for £7 million. Put their midfield to shame last night.
Oh, and put half of them up in the air as well.
Yes, he did.
Last few
Who was your
weeks,
man
though.
of the match last night, chaps?
Team back.
Very tough. Very tough to call a man of the match there last night.
We have to do.
I know.
Pick one, Carl.
I know Ampadu got it, but Jesus, I thought Goodmanson, fantastic. I thought Beall, Marshall in that centre of the defence, got his goal as well. Tanaka looked he looked so much better than he did in recent weeks. When he was, a couple of weeks ago, he was criticising himself because he didn't feel he was up to the Premier League, and everyone's like, "Shut your mouth, man! You're absolute diamond." And I think for him to get the head around it and be back like that last night was just one of them. But yeah, I'd probably go. I'd go with Ampadu simply because of the leadership qualities that he showed last night. He was giving Enzo that, and he was fucking welcome to Leeds, you gimp. That kind of thing. But just on those leadership qualities alone, I think he did deserve it, and it was the right call for me. But you could have picked anyone. Could have picked anyone.
I don't think there is a wrong answer. There isn't a wrong answer.
I've got to say Gabby for me.
Gabby for
He
you.
was superb, yeah. He were everywhere.
Yeah.
He were just he were coming inside when he had to. He were beating people. He was staying outside when he needed to. He were playing little 1-2s, and he were also getting back.
He were brilliant.
Tackling. He were rock
Yeah.
solid. He was so dynamic. He was just vultures will be circling that lad at the end of the season.
Yeah, the thing is, we if we stay up, then we've got the nucleus of a very, 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 very good defense.
Yeah, that's
when they start to gel together, you know what I mean?
Who would have known that playing all three of them would have been the best way forward?
But all of them have got a good few years left in them yet.
They're all young.
young.
Rodan's only 27, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
well. You just go steady with the age thing, you.
Who?
You. Because
I'm
they're
sticking
all
up for
they're
them
all
this time.
27 and under. As soon as they get to 28, you're retiring them. You're sending
That's
them to
it.
Shady Acres or
That's
whatever
it.
it is.
Since-
No, off you go now. You're too old.
Get in
glue
there now.
card for him.
Get your Zimmer frame out there now, lads, and sort it out, yeah?
Fuck you, hell.
I'm going to go with Calvert-Lewin for me.
See,
I think Calvert-Lewin was fantastic last night.
He won everything.
He was
His goal was
brilliant.
an absolute Christmas present, though.
I mean, as much as I want to not like him because he can't finish very well, he's getting better every week. But the guy is just so dominant up in the air, and he's so energetic. He's absolutely everywhere, and he's just a joy. He's just generally he is a joy to watch. Is Calvert-Lewin, and I never would have ever thought I would be saying this. A few months ago when we signed him, I'm like, is this a joke?
I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
for all
yeah.
those people that said he's no better than Bamford, fuck off.
No,
Because
look, you know,
In
Bamford-
fact, I think
Bamford
they were a shit
was
take a week
physical
last week,
nuisance.
weren't
Bamford was a physical nuisance. He wasn't skilled like that at winning the ball out of the air and distributing it. And he's always there. He always gets to it. He's always causing trouble for the defenders. And then, he does something productive with it. He'll lay it off, or he can make a pass or whatever. Whereas Bamford, he might win it, but then he's just going to boot it somewhere random because he's an idiot. People saying that DCL is not as good need to get their fucking eyes and their heads tested for me.
See,
I
the thing
think
is,
Gilly were in the trenches last week with a couple of people over that exact same subject as well. There were people. I think
Crazy.
it might have even tagged shit take, saying that Bamford were better than Dominic Calvert-Lewin or
Somebody
something.
did.
They were just like, what?
Look,
Crazy
look. The thing is, as well, lads, we were well within our rights to have that opinion based off his last 3 seasons in the Premier League, injury riddled.
Oh yeah,
not scoring. You know,
if you've still got that opinion,
yeah. But if we'd signed him when he was getting those 17, 18 goals consistently over the course of maybe 5, 6 seasons, we'd have been like fucking Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Are you mad? How we got that guy? But now that I think a lot has to be said for the medical team in how they're treating him and how they're keeping him at that point. You know what I mean? Where he's nearly. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to fucking jinx it. I'm not.
I just thought I'd pop it up there just in case I lured you in there.
No, I didn't even read that. But I was just I got to the point. And I was like, no.
Yeah, we're not going to curse him.
Shut the hell up, Carl.
But we can all be happy so far and suitably impressed.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they're
Debs has
all...
got a counter argument that says Bamford was all alone, and that Dominic Calvert-Lewin has to support with Nemetcha and vice versa. I think they've to become completely taken in different circumstances. One, because Bamford was still playing in the Championship in a very, very attacking, a very, very good squad, whereas in this season we're absolutely under the cosh by much, much better teams, and we've had to adapt a style to obviously incorporate another couple of strikers because we were just getting dicked. I mean, if you go back a few games and Dominic Calvert-Lewin were grafting up there on his own as well, and we were getting nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, but still putting the performances, still getting his head on everything, still bringing other players into... Bamford would have been absolutely lost up there. So with respect, Debs, I agree with what you're saying, however, completely different circumstances.
I just want to say something here. Steve Brown's in the comments, right? Even Pirro won a few headers when he came on. I turned round to my mate there last night and I was like, or I think it might have even been Debs. I said, what we need to see from Pirro now is the Norwich performance from the playoff semis, where he absolutely ran himself into the ground. Even if it was only for 5-10 minutes last night, run yourself into the ground, no energy left at all type scenario. And to be fair, he done himself a lot of favours last night with me, because I always look at him going, he's a great finisher, but he's lazy as sin, you know. But he kept on top of things last night, and I thought, fair play to him.
Gilly says, I wouldn't have been mad having Bamford as a backup this season, to be fair. Probably would offer more than Pirro. Probably.
Maybe.
You don't know, do you? You don't know. We haven't seen enough of Pirro, but I'm inclined to agree. To a degree.
It's a tough one, the Premier League. Like
It's tough. It is tough. I'm surprised this guy's got even shot. I mean, is he even looking at whatever? Bryn, I don't know what you're watching on, whether it's your phone or a tablet or a television or whatever, but do you actually spend any time watching, or is it just fucking... It's just his fingers go like that, fucking... 50,000 comments from Bryn. He's definitely got the #1 crown in the chat, hasn't he? Definitely.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Definitely encouraging interaction, Smarty.
Sorry, yes. Keep it up, Bryn. He's not been around for a while. I think it's because he loves Luke, and Luke's been on the last few, hasn't he?
Bryn's 2-footing me in the comments here. Pirro's done, Carl. You want to cash out the charity bet early.
What charity bet have you got with him?
I haven't got any charity bet with him. He's probably trying to rope me into one now at this point. But no.
You do realise who you're talking to. He will have receipts.
I'm sure he did have a charity bet.
Yeah.
I'd remember that.
About how many goals he'd get or something.
Oh, yeah. I obviously drunk at the start.
Some good news. Scum are 1-0 up. That's nice.
Okay. Thanks for
that. Give us a 3-point cushion, hopefully.
That'd be nice.
Bryn, can you elaborate slightly on this charity bet, or whether it's just poppycock, or is it actually true?
Claptrap.
I'm going to move us on, because I think we've discussed the Chelsea game enough. We've been on nearly 40 minutes. We've done it enough, I think. I'm going to bring you...
I didn't say top scorer, Gilly. I said he'd get quite a few goals because the Premier League might suit him better with the style of play. Now, I'm still in that bracket, because I think if he has someone up top, either Nemetcha or Calvert-Lewin, I still think he can get those opportunities, and we'll see a good finisher out of him. But I never said he would be top scorer.
You'll see Pirro playing in it's only one cup left in the FA Cup. Whoever we lose to in the first round, he might score a couple there.
Okay,
you never know. Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, Carl said he'd get 10. Oh, Pirro. You thought Pirro was going to get 10?
I thought he would, yeah. Still early days yet, you don't know.
To be fair, mate, it wasn't a bad bet to make because at the end of the day, what bloody championship top scorer.
Yeah. 3 years on the trot. 4 years on the trot, nearly.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it is a shame, but we should have sold him. Really, with hindsight, we should have sold him to make way for someone else to get some further funds into it. You know, reinforce another couple of positions. Realistically, you could have been getting 20 million for him.
Would we have sold him and then just not signed anyone anyway because they couldn't get deals done? You know what I mean?
I think. Well, we'll never know the ins and outs of this, will we? Because there's so many conflicting arguments for it. But you know, you'd like to think with more funds that you'd be able to get higher caliber targets.
Yeah,
we were scraping the barrel trying to get 7 million or so. I think even less for Harry Wilson, and the dying embers of the frigging transfer window. So you just don't know what to believe. And then the people all over saying, "Oh, we're going to go for this player in January, that player in January." Like, well, where were this money in summer? Why have we waited until this time? Have we all of a sudden just magicked some more funding out of nowhere? Have we had more investment from the?
We saw so many drawn-out sagas in the summer where we didn't get the deals done. So what I mean is, would they have spent the money anyway, or would they have tried to get people and failed? You know what I mean? And then we'd have one less squad member. We might be stuck with Matteo Joseph.
There's stories now that the recruitment and Farker were arguing over, what I think the recruitment had the whole tactical, the data sort of side to it, and obviously, Farker had a different sort of metric that he was working with, players, and I think Perry were third choice. I think he were like I don't know who they were
first and second.
I'm not sure, but apparently Perry was a compromise between both camps.
Okay.
So you've apparently, and this were on the square ball as well, but.
Right,
who knows?
Okay.
Anyway, chaps, I'm going to bring you on to our next segment, which is this.
Hey, has got a shit tick this week, my little spat of fact.
Do love a bit of that.
Yeah.
Not only do we have the shittest takes, but we also post other people's shittest takes as well. I'm going to flash them up, Jay, and you're going to read them out because I need a break.
All right, if I can see it, I will. Jesus Christ.
Get your readers on.
I don't need
them.
Let me get me glasses.
I don't need
I
them.
can see right. You'll be able to get right
Lee
up your nose.
Thompson, LUFC Tomo, he says, Farker was backed with significant summer money, with Leeds spending more than 100 million on 10 players. Manager has bemoaned the failure to sign more attacking options, with striker Patrick Bamford released at the end of August without being replaced. I can see why you didn't want to read this. But others at the club have raised questions about the quality of the players he brought in, amid accusations that he favoured physicality over technical quality. The midfielder Sean Longstaff and left-back Gabriel Goodmanson are regarded internally as the only unqualified successes. And Simon Hall says he signed a keeper when the three we already had were more than capable of doing a job.
And Gillish tagged shit take of the week. So the shit take, I'm guessing, is he signed a keeper when we already had three capable of doing the job.
Yeah, so basically saying that Alex Cairns was good enough to play.
Cairns, Mellier and Darlow. Darlow,
Crazy
to be
talk.
fair, be fair to him, has done a good enough job when it's been required.
Yeah,
he's done what's needed from him, and I cannot fault the guy.
Also, Welsh international.
Welsh international, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fair play,
He's
Carl
been
Darlos with his magical oven gloves. Carl, is it a shit take?
I be honest, I think it is. Alex Cairns never played a game for us, even in the championship.
That's how good he is.
Yeah,
I don't think he's even played a game higher than like League 1 or 2, has he?
Yeah, I don't
Imagine
think so.
having a career as a professional footballer where you don't actually have to play any professional football and you just get paid for being a football player.
Scott Carson.
I could do that.
Scott Carson at Man City is there just to make up the British numbers.
It's
That's
insane.
it. Yeah, like the thing is as well, like we were all adamant, and I think even the club were adamant that we were going to get rid of Mellier, that someone was going to come in and take him off our hands. There was talk of God knows who coming in for him. So technically, we only had one keeper that could do a job that we know of, because can anyone in the chat or any Leeds fan honestly say with a hand on their heart that bleeding Alex Cairns is going to be capable enough of playing in the Premier League? Now, if you do say yes, I would suggest going and getting some books on football.
Just ask Jay to drop a couple of his medicational pills off.
Yeah,
I would
clearly
just
need
getting an MRI.
yeah,
Start.
get an MRI. Get some.
Jay's throwing them out of his dispenser. Fucking get some of them in you. You need them more than me.
Right as rain.
If we would have started the season with Melier in goal, there would have been absolute fucking bedlam.
Carnage.
It would have gone
It'd have been
off.
insane.
And rightly so, because he's a bit bab, is the old breadstick,
Shit.
isn't he? He's not very good, and he let us down many, many, many times last season. We would have been way over 100 points last season if it wasn't for the chuffing, praying mantis French breadstick.
Absolutely.
And it now looks like Frank fucking Wanktard's going to beat the frigging record set by Redden and Brian McDermott, doesn't it? I think they're
it won't happen.
I think it probably will because they're just levels above everyone else.
30 goals
down there.
scored already, like.
They're absolutely doing bits of Coventry. And
Crazy,
fair play to them.
But look at that league now, though. That's a very weak league
shocking.
now.
Shocking, innit?
Very weak. So if they didn't take
You look at the
advantage
three
of it with
relegated
the players
teams that have
they
gone down, absolutely fallen flat on their ass, which we knew Ipswich probably would do, let's be honest. Southampton and Leicester I expected better from. I expected much better from them.
Southampton took a very, very big risk hiring Will Still. I thought that was their downfall, to be fair. Like they should have got someone in more capable than that, and they probably, with the players and squad they have, they could be sitting pretty at the top now as well. But Will Still he done all right in France, but let's be honest, sure I could do all right.
Is he the guy who's got no qualifications?
Yeah, he was with Lille, was
The
it?
job from playing Football Manager.
FIFA Manager. So yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, Football Manager.
I'm not down with kids. FIFA Manager. It's a new one. It's coming out in spring 2026.
Yeah.
Karl, shit take of the week number 2. I will give it over to you.
Okay. So Keegan
at
Keegan's Sharpless. Keegan Sharpless. Not like Ampadu went down for a head injury after
need to read
heading
the first
ball.
bit.
That's what I'm reading. Top it.
No, the main tweet.
Oh, right. So we've got Paul the Leeds Therapies tweet that he put out.
Can't get stuff.
Absolute, yeah. Paul's basically going, I'm going to keep on about this because it pisses me off the more I see it. It's cheating, plain and simple. This needs sorting out and stopping. Now,
I want Karl, right? Let me just stop you there, Karl. I reckon you'd do well selling like Thomas the Tank Engine novels.
Yeah,
I'd love you to read me a Thomas the Tank Engine novel. I would be in fucking bed and asleep in no time.
I'm not sure if I take that as a fucking compliment, Smarty. No, to be perfectly honest with you.
Mate.
Twat. So anyway, Keegan has come back and retweeted Paul from the Leeds Therapy. Paul's a sound chap, by the way.
Yes,
not like Ampadu went down for a head injury after heading the ball to waste some time. The ball was leathered at him, for starters.
And it's a head injury.
And it's a head injury. So
injury.
Well, it's a head rattler. Let's just say that then. I don't know why Keegan is even saying that. Like, is he a Man City fan? Is he? Because
I'm guessing so. It's kind of hard to tell. He's just got no kind. I mean, I can't make out what it is in his profile picture, and he's just got an England flag next to his name, so I've no idea.
I get that you have to get looked at when you're bleeding. When you're
Jamie
getting
says that he's always enjoyed your Scottish brug.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jamie. At least you're consistent.
He has got a lovely Scottish accent, hasn't he, Jamie?
Scottish Audrey. Scottish Audrey. I am definitely getting more frequent haircuts these days, you bastards.
The Mayo Scots.
That's it,
So
commonly known Mayo Scots.
Shit take of the week. Ampadu obviously feigning a head injury.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You know, they obviously bought. You know, Donnarumma went down. Absolutely nothing wrong with him. Nothing near him. They went and had a bit of a biscuit and a cup of tea over the halfway line with Pep Guardiola. It's just shit in it. I mean, fair play. If you can get, I said this in our chat as well. If you can get away with it, which you obviously can, and fucking crack on. It's something that we should do. But I can guarantee you, the first time we ever do it, there'll be a new frigging rule next week saying that you're not allowed to do it.
Absolutely.
And that all players have to stay on the pitch or whatever. I don't know how they're going to be able to enforce it, and I don't even think they will do, but it's just shit. The fact that they were actually dicking us, and then we've got it back to 2-2, And then having a frigging team huddle, against us who are pretty much bloody, chicken feed for teams like Man City. I mean, we are, aren't we? Whichever way you want to look at it, they shouldn't be in that sort of situation, which is a good thing for us. Obviously, it just put them in a bit of a bad light or whatever. But yeah, to say that Ampadu went down with a head injury when he had it rocketed at his Swede, is a bit of a shit take.
It's a bit of a stretch, that one, isn't it? Jay, are you going doing the poll?
Wait, we've got one more.
What?
We have one more. And it was just recently, just a smidge before we went live, actually, I spotted this one. I thought I'd throw this one in as well. In fact, I replied off the pod. Leeds United has been doing bits. Digital Wilson has been good in the Chelsea, and there's been many bottles of tears in the comments of some of these posts. But Leeds United, us to all the Chelsea fans in the comments, and then CFC Obi says, "Dear FIFA, Leeds United have signed a lifetime rivalry contract with Chelsea. Let's see who lasts at the end." It was actually Gilly who retweeted this with something like tears or something. I'm like, hold on a minute. We need to delve a little bit fucking deeper. Yeah. First thing I did was I actually checked out this guy's profile to see when around he obviously created his profile, 2022, which, surprisingly not. But my response to him from our account was, "Not you outing yourself as a plastic that has next to no knowledge of the long rivalry between the two clubs. Lee didn't start in 2003, fella. Shit take of the week." Is this a shit take of the week, Jay? Do we need to elaborate? Or are you doing your poll? Do I need to go back?
I'm trying to, yes. I ain't got a clue.
In fact, you can do that in a little bit. Just speak to us, Jay. I feel like you haven't said anything for a little while.
Well,
you're like a little hairy grape that's just looking there all sad.
I'm just.
Do you think it's a shit take of the week? Have you got anything to say to CFC OB about the rivalry between the two clubs that didn't start in 2003 and later, actually, because obviously he's clearly completely uneducated.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the guy must be like a FIFA fan. He must be a new school child who supports players or something, not clubs, because obviously if you're a real Chelsea fan, he'd know about the rivalry. So, very much a shit take.
Well, like, the thing is as well, like, the FA Cup final between Leeds and Chelsea in was it 69-70 season?
Yeah, 70.
Known worldwide for being the dirtiest cup game to be broadcast on television.
The game of football ever is billed as.
It's
in fact, one of the guys
that known around the world.
One of the guys I work with, he's an Arsenal fan for his sins. But I said to him, he'd be like, "Oh, such and such, blah blah blah. Is there much of a rivalry?" I says, "I tell you what, mate, go home tonight and watch." I mean, he likes football, so and to be fair, he does take a bit of a non-biased view. Yeah. I says, "Go home tonight, stick YouTube on, and watch the highlights of the 1970 FA Cup final between Chelsea and Leeds, and just prepare. Sit yourself down with a nice brew and just watch. Don't take an unbiased view or whatever, because obviously he's an Arsenal fan, so don't like Chelsea as well, apparently." But I said, "Yeah, just go and watch it." And he came back the after and you know what? Actually, we're absolutely brutal. I says, "Yeah, they just kick lumps out of each other for pretty much 90 minutes."
Old school.
And we were called Dirty Leeds.
Yeah, and they were called us. Mm-hmm. So it says, but that's how far our rivalry goes, and some of these absolute pillocks. I mean, I was reading the replies and they were just full of the usual dickheads in there that, they don't know what they're getting themselves into. I'm like, are you fucking for real, you wankers, or what?
I wouldn't mind, right?
Please take your head out of each other's fucking asses. Get off TikTok, touch some fucking grass, and learn a little bit about football.
Thing is,
assholes.
LUFC Lewis did that Chelsea v Leeds documentary, didn't he? And it just shows like people who were around at the time as to the bitterness between the two sets of fans that's absolutely carried on to this day. Like,
absolutely.
I can promise you, there's no Chelsea fans on the planet that will ever say they like Leeds.
No,
none. Kids just don't get it.
None.
It's like a generation.
Yeah, it's 100%. They don't know it. They don't know ball. Maybe that's a term that the FIFA generation used. But
I mean, half of them, let's be honest, half of them don't even live in this frigging country. So it's hard for them to understand the basic concept of rivalry and stuff like that. We've got friends that live in different countries and stuff. We've got guys, the Wisconsin boys who came over and they wanted to get a feel for the club. They wanted to, and they absolutely do. 100% they do. But these people that have never been to football games that, sit and watch football on a frigging laptop or the room thousands of miles away will never understand the pure rivalry that clubs have, whether it's a derby or whether it's just a hatred that's spanned decades from the dawn of frigging time. It's the nitty-gritty that these people just do not understand.
Half the accounts that shout the loudest about all this stuff are in bloody Nigeria.
Well, I wasn't going to specifically say where they were from, Jay.
No, but I'm saying I've seen a lot.
Steady.
Steady on.
Steady now.
No, I'm not saying not wrong. Just saying they're not people.
No, but you can actually check them out now on Twitter.
Our rivalry and our understanding of football.
Please like and subscribe if you are in Nigeria. But yeah, it's the usual people, just fucking kids and dickheads with absolutely no knowledge whatsoever, and they're just. To be fair, I think they just enjoy baiting people. I think that's the majority of it, and this is why X is just an absolute cesspool of fucking morons that have no football knowledge. And I'm not saying that we do. Before people say, "Oh, you have to say whatever,"
we definitely do.
We get these people. I'm not saying I do, but I go to Leeds games. I've done for a very, very long time. I understand rivalries. I love derby days. I love playing Wednesday. I love playing Huddersfield Town. I love playing, some of the bigger clubs that we've had a bit of needle with over the years. Chelsea's one of them. Don't give a fuck about Liverpool or Man City or whatever. When Scum come to town, I can't fucking wait for it. It's one of the best games. Playing teams like, I like Palace as well. I think they're good. I think that their fans are great. Derby, there's a bit of needle there. These wankers that are, in the middle of nowhere just do not understand this. And this is what's lost. This is what we have to keep going for. And the generations of kids and stuff that are coming to these grounds and stuff need to, completely engross themselves in, because watching on the TV, you just do not get this. So make sure you bring your kids to games.
But and just on the other side of that, now there is a lot of people who do go to games here and there that do watch on the telly quite a lot, and they do understand the rivalry, and especially if they were brought up in a household like mine, coming up in the west of Ireland. It was every Sunday morning in my dad's house, it'll be the Don Reevy years stuck on the video on the VHS. That'll be on, and then straight after that it'll be match of the day, and then it'll be off to a Sunday league game that my dad was chairman of the club and all that. So I get what you're saying, but at the same time there's people that can't get to games, but they understand it, but they don't know the feeling of it until you're at a game like Chelsea or Scum last night, where you're just boiling with it. Like you're just like, fucking, come on.
Absolutely.
But anyway,
is that the last one, or is there another one?
No, that's it. If you want to stick your poll up there, boys and girls, go and vote for your best, or should I say the shittest take of the week. I think I know which one's going to win. Scooby says, why do you shout that at the opposing team's keeper at the goal when he's attempting to kick it? I think he's on about other fans and why they say it to us. Because we don't even do it much anymore. It certainly don't get many Premier League teams doing it. It's kind of a football league, sort of lower league sort of thing, isn't it, when keepers are about to kick off or whatever. Strange. It's very strange. Don't know, Scoob. I don't know, old chap. Right then, Liverpool. Do we stick with the 3-5-2? Can you see it being changed? Do we see any sort of squad rotation coming in, Karl, or is it largely going to remain the same?
Well, he did say that Calvert-Lewin is a bit stiff in the old calf, and that Nemecha has a bit of an old tight hamstring after last night, because the two of them ran themselves into the ground, let's be honest. But no, I like I said earlier on, Slot has come out and criticised long ball football and his defence not liking it. I think we can take the shit out of that.
You mustn't do that. We don't like it.
We don't like doing that. I think we target the crap out of that.
Absolutely.
Because Chelsea had no answer for it. Chelsea had zero answer for it.
Correct.
And I think if we can do that to a team that's up there and in a good run of form, let's be honest, they beat Barcelona 3-0 last week, drew 1-1 with Arsenal after going a goal down with 10 men. They're no pushovers, they're no slouches. So Liverpool are on a bad run of form. They had a lucky escape last night at home to Sunderland, They got a late equaliser. I think we play on that, and we don't give them an easy ride. And I think that formation last night with the players that we were using will absolutely have at it. Now, I'm not saying that we'll get a win because I don't want to kind of jump the gun, but I do think if we play like we did last night, Liverpool's arse will fall out.
Arthur's here. Titanic sunk old cock. Here he is. How far behind you? Come on,
Thanks,
Arthur.
Marie.
They're not going to understand that reference.
I know, yeah, but it's funny.
I think, I totally agree. I think we can't not go, with the same formation and not go with the same sort of starting lineup. At least if we can get a goal, or at least stick it on them, then we need to relatively early on and try not to do the whole, we'll wait till 65th, 70th minute to make a change and try and implement some sort of, any kind of response then. I think it'd be naive. And to be honest, you can't change. I've always said it. You can't change a losing team. Losing,
Jesus Christ,
a winning team. I'm just used to saying losing. I'm just used to saying losing. We keep, it is what it is. I'm a bit starstruck myself, but we can't change the team for me. I think we need to stick it the same, and we just got to manage the players' fitnesses through the game, which we probably won't see it until the 65th, 70th minute. Bryn says we need to play that direct. That Pulis ghost gets a hard on.
Firstly, I didn't know Tony Pulis had passed away. I assume he hasn't. But
Pulis's ghost.
Okay,
Very strange.
Yeah.
Gillick.
Sleep paralysis demon, Tony Pulis.
No, Arthur. To be fair
Arthur's
to him, the first
in
one
there.
he's here with the news. Arthur, thank you very much for breaking this to us. Breaking news. We should have had it going across the fucking bottom, Jay. You're the technical wizard.
A ticker down the bottom.
Chuffing Gilly there. Bloody saying it, you shit house. Anyway.
Shite bag.
So, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Jay, any changes? Or are we sticking the same? What score do you think it's going to be?
If everyone's fit, then I'm staying the same. But it depends, because I think someone said in the comments there that it's a tight calf for DCL and hamstring for Metcha, so it's only a couple of days turnaround. That's worrying.
Hey, I tell you what, mate. He's arrived late and he's chuffing, bringing the frigging all the best news, isn't he?
He's just decimating us, isn't he? He's just decimating us.
Who's this, Arthur?
Arthur Doom and Gloom.
He's on a rampage. It's just total destruction.
The old Happy Vac, Mr. Fun Sponge himself.
Fun Sponge.
I can't imagine Arthur's. I can't imagine Arthur's.
Fucking hell, lads, I'm sorry. I just come out. I love the show. It's great. I'm sat here with a cup of tea.
Sorry, Arthur. You probably don't talk like that either, but I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah,
I'm sure he is. We've got to go at him. We've got to go at him and try and do what we did against Chelsea for me, and just straight back on it. But I think we're going to suffer a bit from the games in a short period of time with the amount of physical effort that we're having to make. So, what'll happen? Who knows? I could see it ending up being a draw, because I do think we'll get something if we can play with that sort of intensity.
Yeah, I think Bryn makes a good point here as well, just based on Fark, in fairness to him, got his subs and sub timing spot on for last night. Long may it continue. I think his subs last night were more tactical than reaction, which was very good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, makes a change.
I think he should employ that tactic more often. Than just,
Yeah, but like I say, we weren't chasing the game last night, were we? We were the ones on the front foot. Even though we did take obviously a lot of a bit of a battering, and we did soak up a lot of a battering from them. We were technically in the ascendancy throughout the game. Really, the momentum was with us for large spells, and it was with them, but they just didn't do anything last night. They didn't really trouble. Obviously, I don't know what the frigging stats on Calvert-Lewin's bloody. I don't know what the what is it? What's the metric, Jay? It's gone completely out of my head.
What, like XG or something?
XG, thank you. Fucking Jesus Christ! Honestly, my brain melted then. It went, what's those? Yeah, I don't know what the XG on that was, but I'm guessing it was pretty frigging high to say he literally just had to roll it in the goal. But yeah, our XG, our XG,
1.38. 1.38.
That were our
expected
XG
goals. No, that was Calvert-Lewin.
Oh right, okay.
How can it be more than one?
I don't.
Because he had
Is that over his
one goal. That's over 90 minutes.
over the course? Yeah, I say it will be.
I
Yeah,
thought you meant for that one chance. I was like, how can that be?
it's only up to one. Yeah,
it don't make any sense.
But he had opportunities in and around the box as well, so they take that into account when they're looking at the XG. So that crossover for nobody on the back post in the first half, stuff like that. They take that into account as well. So it's not bad. 1.38 XG is pretty good,
We'll take it, lads. Hey, we got 3 points. 3 points in the bag, so fucking bollocks done. Send them back down there.
Absolutely.
Gilly has mentioned something in the chat, and I do have it written down here to mention towards the end of the show, but we are getting there anyway. But he said that one thing that they didn't mention last night was Wilco being recognised finally. Brilliant to see and hear him at half time. I mean, initially I thought we wouldn't be able to see him, hear him, should I say. But it did come quite clear through our dodgy sound system. But yeah, Wilco's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame, hasn't he? And it's great. I mean, it's going to be a big year for him next year as well, because obviously they've got the statue and stuff going outside Ellen Road at some point, and it's about time that we did honour him. He's an absolute legend as far as you're concerned with Leeds United. That he literally is. I mean, the foundation, the training facility and stuff for Thorpe Arch were built on him. I think he had a lot to do with obviously where the England facility is as well. The guy's an absolute legend. Not just for Leeds United, but in football terms. And I was a little bit disappointed. Football. This is what I mean, and I were a little bit disappointed that the Chelsea fans didn't really make much of a noise, and I think there were a handful of them that were clapping or whatever before. You fuckers don't even realise what he's done for you as well.
Yeah, well, he was the last English manager to win the top flight. Yeah. How has he not been inducted into the Hall of Fame before this?
He just doesn't get any credit compared to what he should.
Yeah, he's responsible for St. George's Park.
Yeah.
He's responsible for Thorpe Arch. He's responsible for elite level coaching of underage players. Yeah, his pathway is why academies churn out the players that they have today. The recognition that he hasn't got is absolutely disgusting, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just the way it is, I guess.
Is that what from our club, do you mean? Or just on the whole?
just think in general. I think our club tops it because of what he did for our club. But in general, I think it's like it's the same as Don Revie. Doesn't get the recognition or respect that he rightly deserves
until it was too late. This is the thing. I've been quite vocal whenever they've tweeted stuff like this at the club. It's taken a fan collective to be able to actually push this through. It wasn't done by the club. It was the fans that came forward and have started to get obviously a collection together. And I think I don't know what sort of foundation, or it might not even be a foundation. It's some sort of thing that's happening that they've managed to get some sort of fundraising together or whatever. Yeah. It's fan driven. And it's a shame that the club haven't done anything to honour him whilst he's still here.
Yeah. I think
they are now.
Yeah.
They are now, but there's been nothing for years, mate. And I know about this one because I signed up to this fundraiser fucking months and months and months ago, and Leeds have just finally, I think they've probably been shamed into it more, and it's embarrassing for them. Really, it's embarrassing. It is massively embarrassing, and they've really let themselves down, if I'm honest. But it's about time that they honoured him because we do leave it too late. We should be honouring all the players that are still here that we were able to honour. Johnny Giles. I mean, obviously, we had him on the pitch not so long ago, but obviously we never got to properly honour Norman Hunter. Jack Charlton. We're naming stands after them. That's great, but they never got to they never got to experience how much we appreciate them as elder figures of the club, ambassadors of the club, and icons. They're absolute icons of the club.
Definitely.
I think when they build these new stands, I think they have to incorporate that Revie team within the stands on the outside so that you can see it from the motorway.
The fundraising.
I think I've always said on the east stand above the main entrance where you've got the window that says marching on together or side before self rather. even just a silhouette of the squad when they came out originally and started waving to the fans, even just a silhouette. It doesn't need to have numbers, names, or anything like that. Anyone that's a Leeds fan will be able to tell you which player is which just by looking at that. And I think something like that needs to be done to show the respect to those players. Like you said, Smarty, they don't get recognised until they're dead. You know, that's what I'm on about, Debs. Yeah, the statue of the famous wave, yeah.
I think
So
they're
have
on
a
about having a
silhouette of
silhouette
it.
on top of one of the new stands. I think you're right in what you're saying. Now, I have heard that from somewhere. I don't know whether
have
it's
you?
going to actually be. Yeah, definitely have heard that somewhere.
Right,
They're on
okay,
about
well-
having a silhouette on top of, like Spurs have got that daft fucking bird or whatever it is that they've got.
Yeah.
Over.
It
Something
needs
similar,
something.
but for us to have the silhouette.
Yeah, because when you're driving into Leeds, you drive past Ellen Road. And if the first thing you see on a shiny new stand is basically that whole team doing that particular motion, the waving, I think that kind of, you look at that, like, anytime I drive into Leeds, I've been living here 13 years, and I see Ellen Road, I pass it, I get goosebumps every time I drive by. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm actually living here, going there every bloody week, you know what I mean? Imagine what something like that would do.
I don't get
morale.
goosebumps, but I get a
It's 'cause you're
nice
from Leeds.
warmth. Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm saying,
well, I'm
yeah.
not, but yeah, I get a nice feeling. I get a warm feeling like it's home. I do
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Every time I'm anywhere near it, I'm always looking at it. I always
Yeah.
look at it. It's not like I just completely ignore it.
Yeah.
And if I've got kids in back, I'll go, look, Leeds.
Yeah.
I'm never going to take you, but there it is.
Oh no, I've taken her. She didn't like it. I broke her too early. I took her to, I think it was a cup game, or it might have been an under-21s game. I took her in absolutely zero interest in it. I'm like, I'm going to wait a little bit. But I've taken my nephew, and he loves it. But Bryn says Eddie Gray needs more than a stand named after him, as he's Leeds United for going on 7 decades. I mean, the guy is literally part of the fabric of the club, isn't he?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
When you think of Leeds United, I mean, especially now with obviously a lot of his peers have passed on, sadly. I think that we do need to do something for Eddie. He's an absolute legend and such a lovely bloke. I mean, the only time I've ever met him, he was absolutely half cut, but it was still great. It was still a great lad. He's brilliant to speak to. Honestly, he's such a lovely, warm man, and an absolute baller in his day as well, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
He said to me, "Are you any good?" I went, "Fucking nowhere near as good as you, bloody one, mate." I said, "Jesus Christ, not fit enough to lace your boots." But he's just a good crack.
Someone said, what was it? Eddie Gray was so good that he wouldn't leave footprints in the snow. Was it something along them lines? It was something like that. That he was so quick and good with his feet. He wouldn't even
He was
leave
so
footprints
light-footed
in
or
the snow.
light-footed. He wouldn't leave footprints in the snow, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I can't quite remember the actual one. I'm sure Bren will be furiously typing at home there.
I'm sure he will. Before we just move on to the last part of the show, I'm gonna have to run.
Have you ever wanted to wear your questionable football opinions? Now you can. OKB has teamed up with Back4 to make some merch. Start small with an embroidered patch. Stick it anywhere. No, not there. Then there's t-shirts, multiple designs, colours, sizes, all guaranteed to make your mate say, "You paid money for that." Mugs. No, not Jay and Carl. Actual mugs. For your brew, for your tears, for both. Hoodies. Same deal. Multiple designs, colours, sizes. Ideal for pretending you're fine after getting battered off an ESL team. And snapbacks, because nothing says midlife crisis like flat-brimmed confidence. Or no better merch. Available now at the Back4 shop. Go on, treat yourself. Or don't. You'll regret it later.
You can tell Gilly's in IT and not in sales, can't you?
Everyone loves it. Flat-brimmed confidence. I love that. I love how he just mugs you two off in that as well. Mugs.
Half of the course.
Absolutely.
He's saying you like midlife crisis with your snapback, so it's all right. Like,
Yeah, I do.
So it's
I
okay.
don't know what he said in the other version.
Yes, we will. And we will not. He's the one. I'm not being funny, but he's the one who
cutting
wears
room
most
floor.
hats out of all of us.
Yeah.
But
On the cutting room floor, that one.
Right,
We're
I'm going to get
still
some
not in the
predictions from
relegation
people.
zone.
I'm going to get some predictions from people in the comments and from you two. I know we don't take them anymore, but I want to kind of get a feel for where we are before we close out the show because we are really pressing on for time. Carl, do you have a prediction for the game against Liverpool?
2-1 Leeds.
Good. So lucky. Good. Bosnian bus driver, what are you saying?
2-2.
Desmond.
Yeah,
Love that.
just for you.
No, Brinny, he's not dyed his hair.
No, I don't do that.
Naturally grey.
It has gone really grey, hasn't it, in these last couple of years,
has,
man?
It has.
You stressed out, bro. You need to go and take a
from
chill.
podding with you lot. It's all shitty, give me. It's ruined me.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, poor guy. I remember when he used to sit there in his anorak and his long hair.
Yeah.
Look at him now
with
his Lloyd Christmas fringe.
So there's a man covering his up. Just couldn't be asked doing his hair either.
I couldn't be asked, mate. I've been in shower, that's why.
Simon,
to be fair, so
Simon Coley is in the comments going 2-4 to the bin dippers.
Unbelievable. Simon.
Did you even watch the game last night, Simon, man?
Unbelievable.
Simon's a realist. I like Simon. I like people who aren't going to belt, because I do think we'll probably lose, if I'm honest. I think we will. Yeah. But, if we don't, then fucking mint. Fat gets to stay around a little bit longer, absolutely. Which I'm sure everyone will be really, really happy. And to be fair, I don't really know what to say about it, because beforehand, before he gave us this little glimmer of hope, we were all, yeah, he's got to go. But now he's changed some things, the arrogant swine that he is. And now people are thinking, oh, actually. I mean, I will say this. I like Daniel Farke. I love what he's done for us. I love what he did for the team over the last couple of years. But obviously the arrogance and the way and the complete refusal to drop fucking Aronson up till now, when coincidentally we've started playing better. Or being better, going forward, etc., etc. These little tiny little changes that a lot of us have been calling out for quite some time is made, and all of a sudden, we're actually playing better football. What the fuck? Yeah. So it just depends what his attitude towards the next few games are, whether we can just do it against these good teams or whether we can actually implement these stuff going forward into like Brentford, etc. We will see. But obviously the jury's out, and we'll see over the Christmas period, won't we? So
we will.
The tough Christmas period is off to a good start.
Yeah,
it is.
Positive start.
When does the Christmas period officially start? Because I think it's a bit early to kind of call it now, isn't it?
It's December, isn't it?
Yeah. But
I think the Christmas period's like from about the 17th or something.
When you put your Christmas tree up, Jay, do you have a little Christmas tree that's the same size as your little iron?
No, mate. I have a normal Christmas tree, believe it or not. I like to get a real one, though. I don't like fake plastic shit ones. I like proper tree.
Proper trees. Good sense. Yeah, I like them. Good smell to them. What about you, Carl? Do you decorate your Christmas tree?
Yeah. I've got me Bielsa for the top of it still, which is grand. And
do you decorate it with your brother?
Yeah. Me and my bro go and do it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Stick up the bleeding tree. Get it done.
And then
who do you help with? Who do you help to decorate your tree, Jay?
I don't need any help there. I do it myself usually.
Can you reach the top?
He's got one of them little garbage grabbers, hasn't he? One of them little grabbers that you pick up litter from, and just pops fairy or star.
Why would I need one? I'm not buying an 8-foot Christmas tree.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, they'll fire.
Carl, are you all right to read the Andy's Man Club stuff out, please?
I am indeed, yes, of course. So every week we read out an Andy's Man Club thing, which is Jay got a bonsai. I killed a bonsai tree one time, believe it or not. I know,
they're worth a lot of money.
They're worth a lot, but they're apparently indestructible for the best part. But I fucking done it. I'm gonna have you, Mr. Miyagi, you prick. So anyway, yeah, we like to read out a bit about Andy's Man Club. We try and do a lot for them as much as we can, charity walks and stuff like that. So if you're going through a storm or recently been through one and you're a man over 18, perhaps Andy's Man Club Leeds may be able to help you. We have venues in Horsforth, which is a new one, Kirkstall, Pudsey, Central Leeds, Hunslet, Seacroft and Morley. We are open 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Monday, barring bank holidays. We also run weekly and monthly social events with our aim to get men talking and to smash the stigma around men's mental health. Details of our venues and everything we are doing is at Andy's Man Club Leeds Facebook. So give us a follow and help spread the word. Just want to say it's okay to talk, lads. You're not going to be looked at as weak or frail or any other words you can think of to not talk. Just do it. You're more loved alive than you are not. So talk.
Absolutely.
Talk.
That's it, lads. Smash the stigma. That's what we need to do.
Exactly.
And obviously, Christmas being a very, very difficult time for a lot of people, men, women, people on their own, etc., etc. So if you are going through a bit of a shit time, get out there and talk to some people. Again, if you want to, if you dare DM us or, the pod, good luck to you. Can't tell you we'll be replying to you, but you'll know if it's me.
Might be Luke.
It probably will be Luke. But yeah, guys, and ladies, obviously, if you're out there and you're struggling, get talking to people, go around, see your mates, grab a cup of tea, get out there. Don't bottle it up. It's difficult enough for people over Christmas period, especially if you're going through a bit of a shit time. So keep talking to each other.
And life's hard enough. So just, be nice to each other.
Especially being a Leeds fan.
Yeah, absolutely. This next month could really fucking test it. But anyway, let's carry on.
Yes. I think
I've got us a poll result.
Have you got? I was going to say, have we got a poll result?
Of course you were. So,
hey, it's like a fucking well-oiled fucking machine. Is this thing?
Absolutely.
I tell you.
In third place, we've got Classy Cairns, 21%. Second, we've got Bad Head, 26%. And top, we've got New Rivals, 53%.
Nothing worse than Bad Head. I'm glad that finished second.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jay, for running that poll. Thank you for everyone for obviously voting and stuff and being with us this evening. It's been a good crack. I'm not entirely sure who will be doing the B&C for the Liverpool game.
I don't know, but if we beat Liverpool, I'm 100% sending a link to all of my Liverpool friends.
Excellent. I'm not entirely sure, but obviously, I'm guessing it'll probably be Sunday morning. But the two of us will be knocking around Sunday morning, so make sure you catch that. Thank you, everyone, for being in the chat and interacting with us throughout the show. It's very much appreciated. Make sure you are liked and subscribed. If you can be asked, it's up to you. Jay, Karl, thank you both for joining me as well, for keeping me entertained, as you always do.
Anytime, my friend.
I will see you both for a good, cold, crisp pint after the Liverpool game, where we are drinking many of the Scouse tears together.
We will indeed. We will indeed.
Take care of each other, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
It's all the know better. We all the know much better than letting Karl go on with Jay. Luke's calling out bad weathers, and Smarty is no better, and Gilly gets fan mail again. But every time we go live,
shit take has been
can't speak or even tell the time.
It's more toys out the pram.
It's all the
if I see his mother
we
in the stands,
much better.
I'm going to crack an egg
show for tonight. And if you like these weapons and you don't think they're balanced, please go check out our merch site. Good night.
Little tosser, and I hate him. He's shit. He's average, and he's a shit house.